Welcome back. This is the prime stage of the county right now, the Calhoun County High School Football Media Day going on, the 2022 edition. And we're glad to be back live for you here at the Calhoun County Quarterback Club's Media Day from Anniston Country Club. Next up on the stage, we're proud to have the Oxford Yellow Jackets. Oxford competes in 6A Region 6. The head coach of the Yellow Jackets is Sam Adams. Today, Coach Adams has brought with him senior defensive back Imari Carroll and senior defensive end Josiah Kimbrough. Coach Adams, we will start with your opening comments, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank y'all for having us here. Really excited to be here at this event. It was a first class experience last year when we had the opportunity to be here, and really looking forward to just getting the season started all the way around. I'd say the outlook for this year for us, we'll have a lot of very familiar faces to people that were aware of our roster last year. Last year we graduated 11 seniors, so a really small senior class. We have, depending on how you look at it, as many as 7 returning starters on defense, 8 on offense, and we had a lot of guys that may not have been labeled as starters last year that got a lot of playing time. So, if you were to kind of look through our roster this year, we have a good number of seniors that got a lot of experience last year. You also see a lot of guys that may look young if you just look at the grade level that they're going into and are in right now. But a lot of those young guys that we have are also very experienced in 6A football in 7A football for that matter, with the experience that they got last year. Last year we were playing a lot of freshmen and one 8th grader in the mix, and now those guys are obviously still in very prominent roles with us, but they have another year under their belt. So I think this year it's really a really good feel in our locker room. I think right now, we kind of hit our first day in full pads today, so along with that comes some skirmishes in the middle of practice and all. But I would kind of be worried if we didn't have some of those things. But I think our team is a very mature team at this point. Obviously, we have a lot of work left ahead of us, like everybody does in the state and in the country at this time. But I really like where we're at. We're making a lot of progress. We're a lot better team now than we were on Monday, and we're just eager to get the season going against a very challenging schedule. Obviously, we changed regions. Everyone's really aware of that. Non-region games, we have a challenging non-region schedule as well. We'll open up in a jamboree game with James Clemens, who was a top 10 7A team last year, 10-0 in the regular season. Went to the first round. Then we will play Huntsville High School non-region, another 7A team. We'll play McAdory, who's a perennial 6A playoff team. We'll play Hartselle, who is, I think, maybe 10-0, 9-1, something like that in the regular season last year in 6A. And then we'll finish up the year non-region with Jacksonville, a local team that we have a lot of respect for. So we're just looking forward to getting the season started.
Sam, just how different is the challenge going from one extreme of so much roster turnover your first year and then not nearly as much roster turnover this year?
Yeah, it's there's always going to be challenges that are present no matter what the year is. And they always change year to year, right? I think just the continuity from last year to this year has been huge for us with the players understanding what I expect of them, me having a little more some more relationships with the players and understanding them on a personal level a little bit more than I did last year. I think really everything you're watching us practice, everything just runs a lot smoother. Our transitions in practice are a lot faster. We practice a lot more efficiently than we did last year, and I feel like we kind of are really good at jamming probably 2.5 hours worth of work into a 2-hour practice. And that wasn't really the case last year, just with uncertainty of knowing how to get from one drill to the next. And I think the senior class that we have, I think they understand what I want our program to look like on a day-to-day basis, and they understand now how to hold each other accountable a lot better at this point in the season.
Question for the players. You guys are up here, he brought you guys must be leaders. What does it take? What do you guys look for to lead this team? Being that there are a lot of seniors and there are probably a lot of leaders, do you guys personally, what do you put pressure on yourself to take other players forward with you? Start with you, Josiah.
I try to lead by example. I can't expect them to do something like put full effort if I'm not doing it. So I got to put my max effort into practice just as I expect them to do.
The same thing as him, really. You really gotta lead by example and just coach them up. Like the younger kids, you can't really just let them go by and not really understand stuff. So I really try to help everybody on the team that I can help and help them understand what they're doing and be more mature than the younger kids, because sometimes they lose focus or they don't understand something. So you just gotta help them out.
Amari, what excites you most about this team coming up? And then I'll ask Josiah the same question. What do you, when you're sitting at the end of the day, you know, get ready for bed or whatever, if you're thinking about in 3 short weeks, 4 weeks, you'll be, you know, teeing it up to play the first game. What do you get excited about this team?
You know, I think with this particular team, one thing that kind of sets them apart from most others that I coached, it seems like that these guys take joy in just playing the game of football. When we go out for practice right now, I don't feel like it's a have-to kind of situation. I feel like with these guys, it's a get-to situation. You know, they get another opportunity to practice that day. And especially this time of year, that's not always the case. You know, there's a lot of heat out there and outside elements and that kind of stuff. But I mean, I think they're a fun group to be around. I enjoy going out to practice with them every day, and it seems like they enjoy just competing with each other every day.
I'll ask the guys the same question.
What I really love, I love how we compete at practice. Like, we're really competitive, and I'm just ready to see us go toe-to-toe with another team and put that versus somebody else.
Josiah?
Like you said, with the intensity at practice, it levels up every day. Because we go out there, we compete one day, we come back next, we try to get even better, push ourselves past our limits, and make our brothers just as better. So we'd like to see how that matches up with another team and how we can push through to defeat our other teams.
So did I hear Coach say it intensified pretty good today when y'all put pass on?
Oh yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
It was good.
Good. Jim?
Yeah, Coach just cannot avoid the helmet on the table.
Yeah.
We got to talk about whose idea, how did it come about, when was the decision made, and just talk about the special paint.
Yeah, it's kind of a unique circumstance. So we have one of our younger coaches, Connor Sire. Coach Connor Sire does our graphics on social media. And on Thanksgiving, he put up a Happy Thanksgiving graphic on Twitter, and it was like it was a look of a gravy bowl pouring what was gold paint onto the black helmet. And when he posted that, it got a lot of response from all kinds of people, and that kind of got our wheels turning a little bit. So then we kind of went into making sure the paint was the correct colors. As everybody knows, you know, the Oxford gold is a very unique color. It's old gold. So we started, it's not yellow, it's not gold, it's not Vegas gold, it's old gold. So we went into the Rodale catalog trying to get the color right. They had an old gold that was listed, but it was not close to the right one. So what I did, I handed a pair of our pants, our gold pants, to the Rodale guy, and they created a custom color for us. So in the Rodale catalog now, that is Oxford High School gold. So it's a custom color that we're the only team in the country that has.
Wow, that's pretty neat. Talk about the region lineup. You touched on it in your opening comments, but go in a little bit deeper on that and who's some teams that we're playing this year at Oxford that we haven't in the past few years.
Yeah, so that's it's very similar to the region that Oxford was in the couple of years before I got here. So most of our games now are back from here toward the Birmingham area. So Pell City remains a region game. You know, the ones that most people talk about the most are Clay Chalkville, Pinson Valley. You also have Huffman, Center Point. Don't get me in trouble here because I'm not going to remember all these off the top of my head. But it's a very challenging region. So you have a lot of the most recent state champions that are now going to be competing in the same region. And, you know, when that was released, you get a lot of different reactions from everybody, right? Everybody has an opinion on everything. So, you know, some people took the kind of stance of, oh, Oxford's back in that region now. And I think, you know, it's important to remember one of the reasons that is a tough region is because we're in it. So there's some definite advantages to playing that kind of region schedule. You know, we look forward to matching up with those kind of teams and seeing where we are at that point in the regular season. It's also going to be important to keep in mind that if any of the teams in this region are going to make a deep run in the playoffs, there's going to be another matchup with those same teams, most likely along the way when you get to about the third round. So, you know, we're looking forward to it, and And, we're not gonna shy away from that at all. It's a difficult region, and part of the reason is because of the Oxford Yellow Jackets.
That's a good answer. Joe Bentley.
So Mari and Josiah, going back to the helmet, what do you all think about it?
Oh, I like it. I love it. To me, it's better than the black helmet. Not only because it's not as hot at practice, but it looks good with our uniforms.
I love it. I really think it's different from everybody else. So I just like to be different from everybody, and I love the way that we're the only team in the country that has this color.
There was one other thing too. The people that may not have liked it as much when we first came out talked about the tradition of the black helmets. And Oxford has worn black helmets for quite a while. It's important to note also, Oxford also wore gold helmets earlier in time in the maybe 60s, 70s, around then. So this is not the first time Oxford has worn the gold helmet. But I think it looks really good.
Well, I'll dig a little more dirt out of this hole. Which uniform combination do you guys like with it the most?
I'm gonna say the black jersey with the gold pants.
The all white.
Yeah.
The all white. It's gonna look great, I think.
Sam, along that same line, folks have been telling me it's been nearly impossible to get helmets. How hard was it? And that's what I asked you about the reconditioning and buying new ones. How hard was it with that in mind to get this new style, considering you had to do it basically last minute, that kind of stuff?
Yeah, so the ones that we got back from reconditioning came in fairly early, maybe March, April, sometime around then. We sent those off immediately after the season ended last November. But in addition to that, we ordered 40 new helmets. Those did not come, that we ordered those the first week of February. Those didn't come in until maybe a week or two before we, really, I guess mid-June is when they came in. So when we first started doing workouts, we followed the 2-hour rule in the spring. We did not do spring practice. But for the first several weeks that we were out there, we had a number of guys in gold helmets and a number of guys in black helmets. And we actually had to kind of commandeer some helmets back up, some black helmets back up from the middle school. And really some kids just got their gold helmet within the last week. But that's a problem all over the country right now. We actually, to try to get ahead of the game a little bit, we went ahead and ordered 30 more that we would have ordered next year. We went ahead and put that order in. Those are not in yet. We may get them this fall, maybe not, but we've got enough for all the guys now. But that was a pressing issue.
Did you make it like how some guys, the college guys, they do scholarship walk-on, they make a big ceremony about it? Because you were dwindling on the helmet, and the gold helmet was such an important element to what you had, did you do anything special for that? Hey, here's your new gold helmet, make a big deal about it, or just,
Well, in a normal situation, I would love to do that. We're still in the midst of a lot of construction, and our current locker room setup is, we're kind of jammed in there on top of each other, and our equipment room is right there in plain sight pretty much every day. So it was we couldn't hide it. So as soon as they came in, I kind of unveiled to them at a team meeting sort of thing. If it had been a different scenario, and we'd been in our future locker room and all that, we'd probably done something a little bit different.
Sam, give us an update on where you are on the construction, and then I've got another one for you as soon as you do that.
Sure. Yep. So the date that we have been given when we can get into the new building will be next April. They are making a lot of fast progress on it. With any construction project right now, materials availability and all that kind of stuff are the big hurdles that you can run into, which we're running into problems with that on the construction on the opposite end, the end of the stadium that's closest to Highway 78. We're redoing the stadium entrance right there and a new ticket booth. And that is not going to be done before our first game because of the availability of doors and windows. So that won't be complete until September. But it's really exciting to see. I try to go up and take a picture once a month and put it on Twitter, and to see the progress they've made from May until right now it's phenomenal. So we're really excited about it.
And then I'd like to ask you how the Jacksonville game came about, and to the players after you answered, how do you guys feel about playing the Golden Eagles and probably one of the best quarterbacks in the state?
Yeah, well, it was every 2 years when the realignments come out and trying to schedule games. It's really a very frustrating couple of week period on every front. There's probably more lies told from coaches to coaches in that 2 week period than any other time of the year. And some teams are willing to play, some teams are not willing to play, some teams kind of string that along and say maybe we'll play and all that. And Jacksonville was they were pretty upfront right at the beginning that they'd be willing to do it. It took us a couple of days to kind of get all the ins and outs of the contract worked out and all that, but it's really exciting to play somebody that's close by. I think that's one of the challenges that we have geographically for Oxford being a 6A school. I mean, outside of Pell City, there's not a lot of schools that are our size close by. Gadsden City had been on the schedule for a lot of years, and that one didn't work out this year, not because either team didn't want to play. It was just the way we drew the number of home games that we got in the region and that kind of stuff. It wasn't going to work out for either one of us. Hopefully in the future we'll get Gadsden City back on the schedule, but that wasn't one where somebody's ducking anybody or anything like that. It just didn't work out. But luckily it did work out with Jacksonville, and we're excited to play a team that's close by and a good program and great players.
Are you going there next year?
We will. They'll be at our place this year, and we will go there next year. Yes, sir.
One final question for the players, and then we'll turn it over to Coach Adams for the final comments. But both of you are seniors, so you were there last year when Coach Adams came in as the new coach. Tell us a little bit about, is he any different a year later than he was when he first started, as far as the way he talks with the players, the way he conducts a practice? Y'all both are smiling, so tell me something that he's changed a little bit.
He's more comfortable than he was last year. Like he can be more open up to us. Like he's more comfortable telling us what to do or asking us of something. Like coming here today, he's more comfortable coming to us and asking us about things like that.
How did he come to you and ask you to come today?
He asked me if I wanted to come, just like out of the open.
All right, Imari?
I feel like he's still the same coach as he was last year, but as Josiah said, he's more comfortable, and I feel like he's grown a closer relationship with his players, and I feel like that's a really big part of football. It's not all about football. It's the relationship you have with your players and how you can communicate with them in any type of way and talk about their personal life, not just football.
How important is it to you two guys to have that relationship with Coach Adams?
It's basically like having another person you can call, go to for help, or if you just want to talk. You don't have to just go to the same group of people that you have, say, at home. You can go to someone outside of home that's looking in from an outside point of view.
It's really helpful. It's like someone that can help you out whenever you need help. All of our coaches, they always tell us, if you ever need help, you can call any of us. And I feel like that's a really big part of football.
Does he ever ask you about your grades, how you doing in school, or does he already know before he asks?
He's already
Grades
know.
come first.
Yeah, he already know. Like, he's honest about our grades.
All right, Coach Adams, we're glad to have y'all here today. If you will, give us your final comments.
Again, just thank y'all for having us here and putting on this event. This is was a highlight of our year last year and this year, and I know this will be a great experience for these guys. They'll be able to look back on this in the years to come. But this is really going to be an exciting year for us, and just can't wait to get started. I think we've grown so much over the season last year with this group of guys. We've grown even more in the off season, and we're just looking forward to another challenging schedule.
And as they say in Oxford, go Big O, right?
Go Big O.
Go Big O.
Go Big O.
Thank you, Coach and players. Good luck this season.